Hi, I'm Adam Atkins and I'm going to show you how to make a pizza marinara just like this. Okay, so pizza marinara is an absolute classic. It bangs. We're going to make it my way. Really technical pizza, but really simple ingredients, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So first step, we're going to make the tomato sauce up with these tomatoes. You want to be using like a really high quality sort of whole plum tomato, a San Marzano, or ones like these. These are Palati tomato. We're going to send them through a hand mill, and you just need these and some salt, and that's it. So here we go. Let's see if I can hurt myself. This one's really hard work. Jesus. So with the tomato sauce, we're going to put it through like a hand mill like this. You can just use your hands to do this, just crush them up. I like it quite rustic. That's why I'm using quite large holes on this thing. If you don't have one of these, like I say, use your hands, or you could even use a stick blender. Just make sure you use it on a very slow speed and just go through each tomato at a time, okay? So we're just going to pour some of this into here. About half the tin at a time. And you just turn it. And out comes beautiful pulped tomatoes. You can find one of these in like most online stores. They're readily available. Go to Italy, find a nice little place, and these will be everywhere. Just search for a food hand mill or a moulin, and that's it. We end up with a nice, thick, pulpy tomato base. There you go. Okay, cool. So we're just going to season this with some salt, up to about 1 gram per 100 grams of tomato sauce. So I like to use about 0.8 of a gram. So there's about 8 grams in here for like half this tin. And in it goes. Just mix that through and just taste it. Just make sure you're happy with it. Lovely. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you how to hand crush some tomatoes. So we're just going to get a few in a bowl. Just be careful, it's going to be quite messy. Going to season it with our salt first of all. Nice clean hands, get them in there. Just be careful because these things like to spurt. And just go through each one and just crush them up. Let's make a very rustic style chunky sauce, which is perfect for the pizza marinara. I hate doing them by hand.
Yeah.
Man,
Looks like a shot for the carrot.
It's horrible. And they squirt, and suddenly you get tomato in your face. Okay, so yeah, it ends up looking something like this. Quite rustic, quite chunky, but bangs. Okay, so we're on to the dough. This is my classic Neapolitan pizza dough. You can get this exact same recipe at Gozney.com up here. This is the overnight dough. It's just like 60% hydration, not massively hydrated dough. It's gonna make a really nice classic Neapolitan style pizza. Use whatever dough that you're comfortable with. There's loads of recipes out there, but this one's a banger. We rolling?
Yeah.
Cool. So the pizza marinara, we're gonna cook it in dome today. Works perfectly in rockbox or dome. We've got dome running. We're running the Neapolitan arch, which is a crazy, crazy cool accessory. This thing here, I use them in my food truck. It makes the oven heat up faster, retain more heat, and it's gonna give us like a 70 to 80 second bake, which is gonna be perfect for this pizza. So we're gonna get our dough, gonna cut one of these out. We're gonna use a semolina here, just gonna put it down the edges, just gonna cut it out, get down each one, and I'm gonna get that ball out straight underneath, and then we're gonna stick it upside down in the flour. I like to use the semolina flour. I'm just gonna put a little bit in the middle. Doesn't make as much of a mess as like the 00 flour or the flour that's in the dough. It gives it like a nice color, like a little bit more of a browning to the dough as well. So just gonna push the air out to the crust. And we're not gonna go for a massive crust on this, massive cornicione. Just gonna flip it over. Cool, yeah, we're gonna keep this one traditional because it is a traditional pizza marinara. Just gonna cut that little bit off there. Rather than a contemporary pizza, so it's not gonna have a huge fat crust. Just gonna get away that excess flour. Just gonna slam it out. So if you're not too confident about opening a pizza ball like this, then check out the Gozney Pizza for Beginners series on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna top this one. Pizza marinara, you need like a good, like almost 2 spoonfuls of sauce. So normally you just do 1. This one's gonna get an extra like half. Because you haven't got the cheese on there or any of the toppings that are gonna weigh it down. It needs that a little extra weight on there and a little extra moisture because that's gonna cook out. So if you didn't have that extra sauce, what would happen is when you put it into the oven, you might get that massive like bubble of doom, I call it. The bubble of doom. Where it just like, it balloons up because it hasn't got anything holding it down. So we've got a nice amount of sauce on there. We're gonna get our dried oregano, good pinch of this, evenly all the way around. Don't be shy to use quite a lot of this.
Can they use fresh oregano?
So yeah, you could do, but that's wrong. So you could use fresh oregano, but dried has a little bit more of a punch to it and it's not going to burn in the oven or anything like that. I like to smash it out fresh. So I'm just use my like dough cutter here. I'm gonna slam it down, smash it open, and then I'm just gonna chomp it up. There you go. I like it quite rustic, and I'm just gonna plump that over the base, just random, and that's enough. Then oil, you're gonna need a good lug of oil on this. So like your normal pizza margherita will just get like a small amount. This one's gonna need like a good like double or triple lug of oil. So don't be shy with it. Decent amount all the way around. Oven temp, I've pumped it up to max. It hit like 500 odd degrees. And then what I've done is I've just lowered it down and it's sitting about 430. So just before it goes in, I'm gonna raise it up again. So just gonna turn it up to just below max, and that's gonna raise the air temperature in there, which is gonna give our pizza more spring. So we've got a nice dry clean peel. Just gonna get underneath it, pick it up, slide it straight on. This pizza, this is a 260 gram dough ball. It will go to the limits of the peel to make a good 30 centimeter plus pizza. Oven's looking hot, we're gonna go in. Ready? So straight in, slam it down, and then straight out. One swift movement. So we're just gonna keep an eye on this dough here. On this side here, it's gonna raise up a little bit quicker. And once that starts to puff up a little bit and get a bit of color, I'm gonna get underneath it and I'm gonna just check the underside. So you see it's cooking quite nicely. We've got a good oven temp. It's already rising to the 440 mark. So we're gonna break that seal and we're gonna get our first turn in. We're gonna give it one complete turn all the way around, putting it back in exactly the same place. And you see it's getting a really nice even rise all the way around. Always keep an eye on that underside and that bake. Running at like 480 degrees at the minute. It's really good air temperature. And then we're gonna go all the way around back to that side. When you're happy with that base, gonna lift it up, gonna rotate it so we're completely happy with the cook on the crust. Get a nice even color. We're ready to come out. There is our pizza marinara. Now you can finish this with some fresh basil just to liven it up, which is a good thing to do. Just gonna get a couple of fresh leaves, break them off. Just release those oils and those flavors. Look at that, it's a thing of beauty. In we go. I like to cut my pizzas into 4. Let's do it, should we give it a try? Okay, so that's our pizza marinara done. Looks amazing, smells amazing. I'm just gonna give it a taste. See that? Check out, it's got a nice cook on the underside. Dough's cooked out nice. It's hot. Sorry, that's really hot. It's amazing. For the full recipe, go to gozney.com. It's really hot.
I love it how you've only worked that out.
I didn't expect it to be that hot.